What's up, guys? So as you can see, I got the stock wheels back on the Ram. The reason why I put the stock wheels on the Ram is because it is now winter here in Michigan, and we got snow the other day, which means they salted the roads, and I wanted to keep the 22s nice and clean for the winter, so I stored them in my basement and threw the stock wheels back on, which have the BF Goodrich All-Terrain KO2 tires, as you guys can see there. These tires do really well in the snow and obviously look good and are, you know, a more aggressive tire than stock, so that's why I have these on my stock wheels. So this is going to be the winter setup, and today we are going to install some 2-inch wheel spacers, Centric wheel spacers, to bring the stock wheels out just a little bit, because as you can see, there is no stance whatsoever, and as you know, I like my stance, and even from the front it looks aggressive, but there is no stance. It kind of looks, I don't know, weird to me. So I want to bring the stock wheels out, and I ended up ordering 2-inch Centric wheel spacers, and today we're going to do an install video on those, so stay tuned. As you guys can see, this is what Michigan roads do to your truck, car or truck. I don't know if you guys can see in the camera, but it's just filthy from the salt and all the road grime. I mean, that's just from one drive in, you know, down salty roads in winter here in Michigan. It's filthy. All the salt, just nasty. So before we get started here, I'm gonna do a walk around on the truck so that you guys can see the difference between, you know, from before and after the 2-inch wheel spacers were installed. So we're gonna go ahead and start the Ram and put it in the garage, because my garage is heated and it is 23 degrees outside, so I'm freezing. So let's go ahead and start the Ram up. A little bit quieter than the Hellcat. So before we get started on this install, I wanted to go over which wheel spacers I went with. I actually ordered 2 different sets. The set on the left are 1/2-inch wheel spacers, which are not Centric. And the reason why I ordered these is because I want to try this on the left side, this on the right side, and see which stance or which look I like better. I'm leaning more towards the 2-inch Centric wheel spacers. As you can see here, they are Centric, 2 inches wide, and they are 6 by 5.5 bolt pattern. And what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description below on where I got these. They're both from the same seller. So before you jack the truck up, I recommend breaking the wheels loose first while it's on the ground. Just break them loose before you jack the truck up, because once you jack the truck up, the wheels, especially the front wheels, will spin and you won't be able to break the lug nuts loose. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. So we're gonna go ahead and install the 2-inch Centric wheel spacer on the driver's side first, and then mount the wheel up, and then go to the passenger side and put the 1/2-inch wheel spacer on the passenger side, and then drop the truck down off the jack and see which one I like. So you're going to need a 3/4-inch socket to put the lug nuts, to secure the wheel spacer to the factory lugs using the lug nuts that were provided with the wheel spacers. These are a 3/4-inch in size, so you're gonna need a 3/4-inch socket for those. And then the factory lugs, which obviously bolt the wheel down to the wheel spacer, is going to be a 7/8 socket. So the stock lugs are 7/8, and the lug nuts that come with the wheel spacers to bolt to the truck are 3/4-inch. before you put your wheel back on, you're going to want to go over each one of those and torque it down to, I recommend 90 foot-pounds of torque with a torque wrench. Yeah, you're going to want to torque these down before you put your wheel back on, just because this hub-centric wheel spacer is now connected to your wheel, to your truck, your hub. So you want everything to be tight, and you don't want this ever coming loose, because then you're going to run into a bunch of problems. But as you can see here, being that this is hub centric, the center bore of the hub on the truck fits flush with the wheel spacer. So these, I have to say, these 2-inch wheel spacers are definitely made of nice quality aluminum, and they fit on here really nice. So once you get your wheel back on, make sure that you torque your lugs before lowering the truck back down off the jack. But what I wanted to say is, if this is how far out the 2-inch hub-centric spacer makes the wheel, I gotta say I'm very satisfied with that. And I don't think, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to try the 1/2-inch spacer on the other side, just because it won't be enough. This is perfect. The truck's not down yet off the jack, but you can already tell that the stance is going to be perfect. It's not too much, and it's to my liking, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the 2-inch hub-centric spacer on the passenger side and get this job done. I'm not going to mess around with the 1/2-inch spacer, just because, like I said, the 2-inch spacer is perfect. It pokes the tires out just enough, not too much, and I'm very satisfied with it. So now that we got the front done, let's see what it looks like. Perfect. Just the right stance. 2 inches was the perfect size. I'm very happy with how they turned out. Can't wait to get it outside and take a look at it once all 4 are done. So now that we got the truck turned around, let's go ahead and start on the rear. We're gonna jack the rear up by the rear diff and try to knock out both sides at once like we did on the front. So yeah, let's get started on the rear. Alright, so now that the back's done, let's see how it looks once it's settled down. Man, it looks really good. The offset's perfect. Just gives it that, you know, just enough sticking outside the fender well to give it that stance. I'm very happy with how it turned out. What do you guys think? Comment below, let me know your thoughts on this. So now that it's done, I'm gonna do a full walk around of the truck so you guys can get a better understanding on how the wheel spacers look. Basically, like I said, they're 2-inch hub centric wheel spacers, and it brings the wheel and tire out just past the fender. And I'm gonna do a walk around for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. So as you guys can see, it is now snowing, and I'm finishing up the video here the next day because I got done at night and it was hard to tell from the front, you know, how it looked in my garage because it was dark in there. So now that it's daylight out, it did snow overnight, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what it looked like, or what it looks like now that it's done from the front. As you can tell, it looks much more aggressive as the wheels stick out 2 inches, and it's not too much, just enough to my liking for the stock wheels. Obviously I like my 22x12s better on here, but for the winter setup this will do. I didn't want to get my 22x12s all nasty with the salt and road grime from the winter, so we're gonna run the stock 20s with the BF Goodrich all-terrain KO2 tires. So that completes today's video, guys. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you guys next video. Peace.